Let's start by getting one thing straight. There is a wide range of what is considered normal when it comes to menstruation. The idea of a perfect 28-day cycle with precisely 5 days of moderate bleeding is more of a textbook concept than a universal reality. A typical menstrual cycle can last anywhere from 21 to 35 days. The period itself, the part where you bleed, usually lasts between 2 and 7 days. This variability is completely normal and reflects the unique biological rhythm of each individual. Your normal is what is consistent for you over time, not what you see depicted in advertisements or hear about from a friend. So, how much blood is actually lost during a typical period? The average amount is somewhere between 30 to 60 milliliters over the entire duration of the period. That's about 2 to 4 tablespoons. It often looks like a lot more because menstrual fluid isn't just blood. It's a mix of blood, the uterine lining, also called endometrial tissue, and other fluids. Gauging this can be tricky. A practical way to think about it is in terms of sanitary products. A normal flow might mean you change a regular absorbency tampon or pad every 4 to 8 hours without soaking through it. You shouldn't feel the need to constantly run to the bathroom in a panic. The medical term for heavy menstrual bleeding is menorrhagia. This isn't just a slightly heavier than usual day. It's a specific clinical condition defined by blood loss of 80 milliliters or more per cycle. Your menstrual cycle is orchestrated by a delicate and complex dance of hormones, primarily estrogen and progesterone. Think of them as the conductors of an orchestra. Estrogen is responsible for building up the uterine lining, the endometrium, during the first half of your cycle. It makes the lining thick and rich with blood vessels to prepare for a potential pregnancy. After ovulation, progesterone takes over. Its job is to stabilize this lining and get it ready for a fertilized egg. When this hormonal balance is disrupted, you can experience heavy bleeding. This is a condition known as anovulatory bleeding, and it's a very common cause of menorrhagia, especially in teenagers who have just started menstruating and in women approaching menopause. In these life stages, ovulation can be irregular. If you don't ovulate, your body doesn't produce the progesterone needed to stabilize the uterine lining. This leads to unopposed estrogen, which continues to thicken the endometrium. When the lining finally does shed, it's much thicker and more vascular than usual, leading to a significantly heavier and often prolonged period. Certain medical conditions can also throw your hormones out of whack, leading to heavy periods. Polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, is a prime example. Similarly, thyroid disorders can wreak havoc on your menstrual cycle. An underactive thyroid or hypothyroidism can interfere with the hormones that regulate your period. It's empowering to understand that heavy bleeding is often rooted in biology and chemistry, not a personal failing. Recognizing that your heavy flow could be a sign of a hormonal imbalance is the first step toward seeking the right kind of help. While hormones are often the main culprits, sometimes the cause of heavy bleeding is structural, meaning there's a physical issue within the uterus itself. One of the most common structural causes is uterine fibroids. Fibroids are non-cancerous, or benign, growths that develop from the muscle tissue of the uterus. They are incredibly common, affecting a large percentage of women by the time they reach age 50. Fibroids can range in size from tiny seedlings, undetectable to the human eye, to bulky masses that can distort and enlarge the uterus. Depending on their size and location, particularly if they are inside the uterine cavity, these are called submucosal fibroids. They can cause significant symptoms, with heavy menstrual bleeding being the most prevalent. Fibroids contribute to heavy bleeding in several ways. They can increase the surface area of the endometrium, the lining that is shed during your period, which means there is simply more tissue to bleed. They can also press on blood vessels within the uterine wall, preventing them from constricting properly to control bleeding. It's important to remember that having fibroids doesn't automatically mean you'll have problems, but if you are experiencing progressively heavier periods, they are a very likely suspect that your doctor will want to investigate with an ultrasound. Another structural cause to be aware of is uterine polyps. Like fibroids, polyps are growths, but they arise from the endometrial tissue itself rather than the uterine muscle. A less common but important condition to know about is adenomyosis. In this condition, the endometrial tissue, which normally lines the uterus, begins to grow into the muscular wall of the uterus, known as the myometrium. Adenomyosis is often seen in women later in their reproductive years and can be challenging to diagnose definitively without examining the uterus after a hysterectomy, though MRI can often provide strong evidence. Your body does not operate in a vacuum. Your overall lifestyle, including your stress levels and dietary habits, can have a surprisingly significant impact on your menstrual cycle. When you are under chronic stress, your body produces high levels of the hormone cortisol. Cortisol is part of your fight or flight response, and its primary job is to help you survive perceived threats. However, the part of your brain that controls stress hormones, the hypothalamus, also directs the hormones that regulate your period. When cortisol levels are consistently high, it can disrupt the delicate hormonal symphony of estrogen and progesterone. Managing stress is not just about mental well-being. It's a tangible, actionable step you can take to support a healthier menstrual cycle. Your diet also plays a crucial role. Certain nutritional deficiencies can exacerbate heavy bleeding. Iron is a big one. Heavy periods can lead to iron deficiency anemia because you are losing more iron-rich blood than your body can replace. This creates a vicious cycle, as some studies suggest that iron deficiency itself might worsen heavy bleeding. Pairing these foods with a source of vitamin C, like citrus fruits or bell peppers, can significantly enhance iron absorption, helping to replenish your stores and potentially ease your flow over time. An anti-inflammatory diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, as well as flax seeds and walnuts, can help support hormonal balance and reduce menstrual symptoms. When you're in the midst of a heavy flow, your primary goal is practical management to get through your day without leaks or constant anxiety. Don't be afraid to double up. Wearing a super absorbency tampon along with a heavy-duty overnight pad can provide an extra layer of security, especially on your heaviest days or when you're out for long periods. Another excellent option is a menstrual cup. Cups can hold significantly more fluid than even the most absorbent tampons, often 2 to 3 times as much, meaning you can go longer between changes. Period-proof underwear has been a game changer for many people with heavy flows. These undergarments are designed with multiple layers of absorbent and leak-proof material, capable of holding several tampons worth of fluid. Planning ahead is also a crucial strategy. On days you anticipate being heavy, prepare a period pack for your bag. This should include more supplies than you think you'll need. It's also wise to wear dark-colored pants or skirts on your heaviest days to minimize the visibility of any potential leaks, which can help ease your anxiety. Finally, don't underestimate the power of over-the-counter medication used correctly. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or naproxen can be very effective for managing heavy bleeding. They work by reducing the body's production of prostaglandins, which are hormone-like substances that contribute to both heavy bleeding and cramping. Caring for your body during a heavy period goes beyond just managing the bleeding. It's about holistic self-care to counteract the physical and emotional toll. First and foremost, give yourself permission to rest. Losing a significant amount of blood is physically taxing. It can lead to fatigue, dizziness, and a general feeling of being drained. Your body is working overtime, and it needs recovery time. This might mean scaling back your usual exercise routine. Instead of a high-intensity workout, opt for gentle movement like stretching, a slow walk, or restorative yoga. Listen to your body's cues. If you feel exhausted, it's okay to cancel plans, take a nap, or simply spend an evening on the couch. Prioritizing rest is not lazy. It's a necessary part of health management. Nutrition becomes even more critical during your period, especially with a heavy flow. As mentioned, replenishing iron is a top priority to prevent or treat anemia. Focus on incorporating iron-rich foods into every meal. It's also important to consume foods rich in magnesium like dark chocolate, avocados, and nuts, as magnesium can help relax uterine muscles and ease cramping. Staying hydrated is equally vital. Drink plenty of water, herbal teas, or broth to help your body function optimally and to combat the bloating and fatigue that can come with your period. Good hygiene is fundamental for comfort and preventing infections during your period. With a heavy flow, you'll be changing your menstrual products more frequently. It's important to wash your hands before and after changing a pad, tampon, or menstrual cup. Find comfort measures that work for you. A heated pad or hot water bottle pressed against your lower abdomen or back can work wonders for cramps by relaxing the muscles and increasing blood flow. A warm bath with Epsom salts can have a similar soothing effect. Engage in activities that help you de-stress, whether it's watching a favorite movie, listening to a podcast, talking to a supportive friend, or practicing deep breathing exercises. While many women experience heavy days, it's crucial to know when your bleeding crosses the line from a manageable inconvenience to a medical concern that requires a doctor's evaluation. You should make an appointment if your bleeding consistently meets the clinical definition of menorrhagia. This includes soaking through a pad or tampon every hour for 2 or more hours in a row. It also includes needing to change your menstrual products during the night, or passing blood clots that are the size of a quarter or larger. Pay close attention to how your period affects your daily life. If your bleeding is so heavy that you frequently have to cancel work, school, or social activities, it's a problem. You should also see a doctor if you experience symptoms of anemia, which is a common consequence of chronic heavy bleeding. These symptoms include extreme fatigue, weakness, shortness of breath, dizziness, pale skin, and cold hands and feet. Anemia is a serious condition that needs to be diagnosed with a blood test and properly treated. The timing and pattern of your bleeding also matter. You should seek medical advice if you experience bleeding between your periods, bleeding after menopause, or bleeding after sex. When you do see your doctor, be prepared to describe your symptoms in detail. Don't just say, "My periods are heavy." Provide specific information. Tell them how many pads or tampons you use on your heaviest day, how often you have to change them, the size of any clots you pass, and how your period impacts your daily activities and energy levels. It may feel embarrassing to talk about, but remember, your doctor has heard it all before. They are there to help you, and providing clear, detailed information is the best way to start the journey toward a diagnosis and an effective treatment plan. If you are struggling with heavy menstrual bleeding, the most important thing to know is that you are not alone. It is an incredibly common issue, yet it is often shrouded in silence and stigma, leading many to believe they are the only ones suffering. Heavy, life-disrupting periods are not normal, and you do not have to simply put up with them. Your pain is real, your struggles are valid, and your experience deserves to be heard and addressed with proper medical care. You have the right to a life that is not dictated by your menstrual cycle. Finding a supportive community can be a source of immense comfort and validation. This could be a trusted group of friends, a family member, or an online forum dedicated to menstrual health or specific conditions like fibroids or endometriosis. Remember that finding the right solution can be a journey. There is no one-size-fits-all cure for heavy periods because the causes are so varied. Your treatment plan will depend on your specific diagnosis, your overall health, your age, and your future reproductive goals. It may involve lifestyle changes, medication like hormonal birth control or NSAIDs, or in some cases, a medical procedure. Be patient with yourself in the process. It may take some time and collaboration with your healthcare provider to find the approach that works best for you. Advocate for yourself, ask questions, and don't be afraid to seek a second opinion if you feel you are not being heard. Ultimately, taking control of your menstrual health is an act of empowerment. It begins with acknowledging that there is a problem and believing that you deserve better. Heavy periods can take a toll on your physical health, your emotional well-being, and your overall quality of life. But there are effective solutions available. You are worthy of a period that doesn't cause you to miss out on life. Take that first step today. Talk to a doctor, talk to a friend, and know that a more manageable, healthier future is possible.